Okay, so now that you've gotten all your material ready, you are going to thread the machine. So you have your thread. The thread should come from underneath your spool. The thread should come from underneath the spool. You're gonna take off the spool cap, put it on the spool pin, back on all the way. Then you're just gonna follow the thread guide. Starting from behind, you're going to go down and up. It has an arrow. The thread take-up lever is already in the up position. If it was not and it was hidden, you would have to use your hand wheel to raise it up, back to the front. It connected. There's a tiny hook down here. You're going to go behind that, and then you probably want to have your shears or scissors handy. I only have a pair of shears, so I'm going to use those. Cut a fresh cut. I like to put my presser foot down so that I can get through the eye of the needle. You guys have young eyes, so you should be fine in getting it through the eye of the needle. That gets trickier when you get older. But I got it through. Raise your presser foot up, and then you can put it between that slit in the presser foot. So then you've threaded your machine properly. Then there's a little black lever next to the bobbin cover. You're gonna pop that open. You have I have a different color bobbin, but you guys can match them better. And you're gonna place the bobbin in the bobbin area. And there's a little arrow that says click it in place. So it's gonna have to click. When it's clicked, you can see that it actually is underneath the metal. So that should be correct. I like to hold my thread like that, turn my hand wheel, and it grabs the thread from the bottom. You can just put your finger in there to get it out. And then what you're trying to do is just have two threads in between. Yeah, there it is. In between the presser foot and the slide plate. So it grabbed it from the bottom and brought it up. Now what I like to do is practice on a practice material first. So I'm just gonna grab my fabric that we just had that we might make a pocket. And I'm just gonna cut off a small sample of that because we don't need a lot of it. And this is gonna be plenty to do our practice. Every time you thread the machine, you wanna make sure that the machine is, hold on, I'm gonna turn the light off so I set a good example. Messing with your presser foot, your foot pedal to get it right. Okay, now I'm just gonna line it up. I like to use that 15 line. I'm just gonna line it up and practice sewing. Let's see if I back stitch, is it gonna knot? And it looks fine. If it jammed, then we would know that the machine was not threaded properly. So the test is to see if you look on the back and the front, it should be a nice straight stitch. All right, so now that we know that's great, we are going to continue to sew on our project. Now remember we said that these don't line up. This is the inseam of the leg. It doesn't line up. So what you can do, and it might be a smart idea for us to do that now, just to show you guys, is just make them even. So I'm just gonna take my shears. That's why it's always good to have supplies with you. And I'm just gonna take that extra part off. I don't know why it didn't match. It could be the paper pattern was not correct. I might as well do the other side too while we're at it. Because it is gonna make a difference when we line up, because we lined up the notches. That's what matters. Because we wanna be able to see that our thread actually went on the project. Okay. So now, this is the side I want to start on. I'm going to line it up on the 15. I'm always going to keep my pin holder close to me. And the line of the 15 is this one. It says 1-5. You're going to line up. That's what's going to help you have a straight seam. And then you're going to start to sew. Forward about 1 inch. Then you have to back stitch to reinforce it. Keep going. Now mine's at a higher speed than yours is. Yours is going to be at the slow speed. Because see how slow that is? That's because you guys are beginners. If you're feeling more comfortable and you know you're not going to make a mistake, you can raise it up a little bit. I'm of course experienced, so I don't mind doing it a little faster. But it's better for you to go super slow and not have to use the seam ripper to take it out. There's no race. It's more important that you do it right the first time. Okay, so when we come to the end, we're going to let off of our foot pedal and we're going to reverse. Back stitch again. And then forward again. Okay, let me raise our presser foot up, pull it out. Notice how far I pull it. I pull it all the way out here because if I cut over here, then I would lose the eye of the needle. Okay, so that's one side, and then we do the same thing with the other side. We might as well do it both and then go to the iron because I'm going to show you what to do in the ironing. Now hopefully this will be done in the same day, but if it's not, you just pick up from where you left off next time. Keep going. This is the other leg. So forward, back stitch, forward. See how the machine is doing the work? It's taking it by itself because of the feed system, the feed dogs underneath. Keep going. Again, I can go a little faster just because I'm videotaping. I want to kind of speed it along. And then you're going to come to the end. It's not a big deal that it didn't match. No big deal. Come to the end, back stitch, forward. Let it up. If for any reason the needle is down in the machine, you would just use your hand wheel to raise it up. And cut. All right, I'm going to move over, keep it on. I'm going to move over to the sewing machine, the iron, make